In Iowa, we know the value of registered apprenticeship programs. We are a national leader in creating new programs, in recruiting apprentices, in increasing the number of employers that engage with registered apprenticeship programs, and in helping high schools create registered apprenticeship opportunities for high school students. Not only will you earn a nationally recognized credential at the end of your registered apprenticeship program, but you'll earn and learn along the way. You can support your family, you can continue to pay your bills while you learn an exciting new skill that's going to increase your earning capacity and place you on a career pathway that is sustainable for the rest of your life.
We are one of the only culinary apprenticeship programs on the eastern part of Iowa. I believe that it really helps students that are wanting to start a new career. They want to have a job, and with going to school, we can do both.
So they're learning everything from accounting to math, culinary math, to food fundamentals, to basic foods, intermediate foods, advanced foods, and everything in between. Then they'll just take out to the workplace and practice all those skills with their supervisors and chefs. So they do get paid, so it's work as you learn. So they have to have so many hours every year to get their journeyman card. It's recognized across the country in every kitchen, in every situation.
So I was actually a theater major my first year of college, but then I wanted to change to something that would have a little more security in terms of college degrees. Well, it's still a creative outlook. It's just you're not speaking lines in front of a crowd. You're presenting a dish to people, and you put your thoughts and your passions into this dish the same way you would do it into a monologue, and you express yourself through the dish.
The growth of these kids, or adults, whoever, they come in with a basic understanding or no understanding of cooking at all. And so by the time they are done, they've been immersed in so much content, so much information that they really walk out of here with lots of pride, lots of ambition, lots of excitement, because they've learned a lot.
Brown's has been around for 110 years, so we've been around for a long time. We really just started to see where we were at in the market when it comes to recruiting and finding the right fit. And what I was seeing as I was going out into career fairs and job fairs, that registered apprenticeships really up your value and kind of up your market, and it just made us a lot more legitimate. You don't want to go to school, you don't want to get a 4-year degree in business. Guess what? We can bring you into a program where it's all on-the-job training, and we're going to give you every tool that you need to be successful as a business owner. And then between that period of 1 and 3 years, they will have completed their registered apprenticeship program, and then they're just working on the job. They're just getting so much experience. They might have moved to another store, so they would have promoted, and then they wait for their call. And what I mean by that is they'll get a call from the president of this company and ask them if they're ready to run a store.
When I got that call, it's certainly nerve-wracking, because when you do get to the store, you're not, getting your hand held anymore. It's you. It's exciting all at the same time. With the history of what Brown's has done and everything like that, it definitely gives you that security that a lot of jobs don't. The fact that you're your own boss, you feel like you can continue to do this very long term without feeling like you're going to get burned out, because you do have that investment in it, the time, the money, and all that good stuff. I mean, the apprenticeship program definitely gives you a far more in-depth view of whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's this or a trade. The guys that are part of the apprenticeship program, they have the mentality that this is something they want to do long term.
When I first got into high school, I actually wanted to be a software designer or a programmer. I was looking into Carnegie Mellon University. It's a private college. It's very expensive, and it was just awe in my brain, the amount of money it would cost. And then, yeah, it'd be an amazing job, but I just wasn't sure if that would be right for me, and I would know that weight on my chest in the morning, not what I wanted.
Yeah, we train welders that work at Henderson Products, Paladin Attachments, and XL Specialized Trailers. Part of this takeaway that I've had from this apprenticeship program is it gives me the opportunity to learn more what our companies expect, which is only going to improve my practice here I'm giving them a base, a fundamental, the foundation, I think, to begin. But a lot of the focus that I really try to put on towards is the accountability, the problem solving, the how to be a good worker. We're actually getting ready to graduate some here in November, and their paychecks are as big as mine.
I like the feeling of being my own responsible adult. Being at work, it's just like being any other employee, and it's just a great feeling being, equal as other people, even though I'm definitely younger than they are. One of my colleagues actually thought I was like 26.
When I started teaching 17 years ago, I met with an individual from Henderson Products, and they said, if you have a skill such as welding, you'll get a job in 5 days. And now I'd say it's different. I'd say it's 2. We are in definite need for the skilled trades.
It's definitely a good feeling knowing that I have a secured career path already. Right out of high school, I don't have to worry about looking for a job. I mean, it is an amazing feeling just getting to go right into my career.
I wanted more of a long-term plan. Like, of course, being a CNA, you help people, but I learned more of like how to empty draining tubes, how to take out staples and stitches, and just more of what I like to call the fun stuff. It made me want to further my career even more to become a nurse because I really liked that side of the job.
I'm going to read Too Tall. I love kids, so where would that word belong? I have 4 kids of my own, and I want to be able to be that person that can help other kids grow and develop. When I was given the opportunity, I decided that it was time to take the plunge, and I had been subbing and I enjoyed being in classrooms, so I knew it's what I wanted to do. Lola? Only. All right.
So our district applied for the TPRA grant a few years ago, and several associates had to apply and were selected for the program. So they've been taking courses, doing their practicums, student teaching throughout their program.
This program's more attractive to me because I am a parent. I have 4 children, I work full-time. There's a lot going on in my life. The money part of it, to not spend that kind of money, and then to have the flexibility with the schedule so I could still do the other things. A-E-I-O-U. Good.
Something I've said all along the way is that this would have been an amazing program for all of us, including me, to go through in the teacher prep program because you're immersed in the school. So all of the learning you do in your coursework is really very practical because you're in a classroom the very next day and can see it in action.
I have learned so much. Things you don't think of, even as an associate when you're in a school every day, things you don't think of. I was exposed to a lot of that and the new ways of teaching and the new theories behind reading and those sorts of things.
Ultimately, we knew she was somebody we wanted as part of our teaching team here at Horizon. I was able to hire someone from within. I know exactly who I'm getting, what I'm getting to join a teaching team here at Horizon, and that feels really good.
Starting in August, then I will have my own 4th grade classroom. I'm just really excited. I don't sleep. It's a dream and it's something I've always wanted, never thought that it would happen, and now it is.
Personally, I always kind of was skeptical of the standard college route because I was like, okay, you go for 4 years, you might like it, you might not, and then you might get a job, you might not.
It's more of a structured, almost like the DMAC IT days.
So in the cybersecurity program at Central Campus, we learn how to protect the internet. We learn the fundamental IT skills in the first year of the program. Another big part of the program is employability skills. So my part is, of course, being the instruction and making sure they come to Ruan with a certain set of skills, and then Ruan is able to give them all the hands-on work experience. It's worked so well that Ruan has had many rounds of hires for our students.
We did mock job interviews, mainly just for experience reasons, but then they just liked me a lot, and then over the summer I got a call, and then I got pulled in for an actual interview, and I was hired in July of 2018.
Ruan has understood the importance of making sure that these apprentices feel valued. It's a paid apprenticeship.
They're not running around getting coffee for anybody. They're not doing menial tasks. We want them to get a real life experience as to what they'd be doing if they came and worked for us full time. Just try to make it a point that no one's just an intern or just an apprentice, but you're just as valuable as anybody else that works here.
From when I started to now, a lot of my development has been professional-wise, right? It was learning how to, correctly dress for a job, learning how to interact around, CIOs and CEOs. So I think the coolest experience is that I'm able to develop myself as a person. Throughout my first couple of years of high school, it was, I've got this plan to go to college, what am I going to do afterwards, right? So now that I have that job lined up and waiting for me, it's a lot more relaxing. Now I'm focused on, doing the work and developing myself rather than scrambling to find a position. I've always told people, just if you find something you like, follow it and pursue it, so then that can open a lot of doorways for you.
Getting to ride around in an ambulance with the lights and sirens, who doesn't want to do that? For these students to be able to see the actual working side of it and get them interested in it, as opposed to just seeing it drive down the street, it's really important. And they're going to graduate high school with an EMT certificate. That is huge.
As the fire chief here in Boone, we sit in a unique community where we have to compete for employees with the metro. And so without an outlet really coming out of the Boone system, finding volunteers and EMS providers, firefighters, is really a struggle. Speaking with the school, they'd had an apprenticeship already kind of started with the meat cutting with Fairway Meat and Grocery. Just tried to model the same thing in the fire and EMS realm.
Agencies all over are hurting, so getting kids interested in it, that's going to set them on a path for a career. They could potentially have more than 30 years in a career, which is just insane for anybody nowadays.
I was interested in that this is something different, and I'm not interested in a job that's just going to be sitting around all day. When I was doing ride time, it was really fun. I got to see how they would interact with the patients and what they do daily.
I'm still not even exactly sure what I want to do when I grow up. I just like all kinds of skills. I like to just know how to do stuff, and I thought it would be interesting to understand, and especially since I'm really interested into fitness, it just gave me a new perspective.
You can take this EMT class, but you don't have to be an EMT. We would love it if you become an EMT and then move up to be a paramedic, those kind of things. But some of the greatest nurses or CNAs or doctors started out in emergency medical services, and so it gives you that base education, that baseline training to be able to further your career, whether you want to be a nurse, a doctor, a respiratory therapist, a physical therapist, an athletic trainer, those kind of things.